Alright, this is the grill of my Cadillac. Maybe wondering why it's in front of a microwave in the garage. Well, the answer is because it's not here. The brackets have been broken for quite some time, and every time the base rattles, that grill looked like it was about to shut off. Upon closer inspection, I realized GM's a bunch of tools, and they decided that they were going to go ahead and make this mount out of plastic. And I can't replace just this mount because it seems that this mount over here is also the same mount the headlights are mounted onto. Plastic is pretty sturdy, but there's these tiny two little flaps that are holding it in. They were completely broken off, as you can see there, so I decided I took some epoxy and kind of drilled them in there. If the epoxy doesn't work, then I will have to fiberglass an entire part here, which is absolutely going to suck. Alright, this here is my interior. Let me turn on the light so you can see a little bit better. Everything except the radio is absolutely original. If you can see there, that's the original black trimming over in the chrome part, right up there. That's the original. This here I actually just recently painted. It was completely coming off. I took it out to wash it, and the paint wasn't even on there anymore. Pretty baller. Steering wheel obviously goes up and goes down, but something not commonly seen in the 80s is this. Adjustable and telescopic. Alright, this is the ECC, which controls the ECM as well as the BCM. Now, what this allows me to do, obviously, you can change the air conditioning, you know, big freaking deal. However, if I hold these two buttons down, it's basically an OBD reader. And 70 is good. 70 means that it's done scanning. As you can tell, it's throwing no codes whatsoever. This is the back seat. You can tell that it's dirty, which I should have cleaned up before posting this up, but oh well. Again, everything's in great shape. The book lights work really well. Again, limo lights are on. You can see them there. This is the trunk. It's got the E&G Continental kit, which is basically a fancy name of saying it's got the steering wheel with it. And let's take a look on the inside. So this is the big one. Now, it looks kind of small, but keep in mind, this is a 14.5 cubic foot trunk. That box you're looking at is 7.5 cubic feet. A Memphis 1100D, it runs at 1100 watts continuous at 1 ohm, which is great because that is exactly what this sucker is going to take it at. This is a Solobaric L5, which is 750 watts at 2 ohms, 325 at 8, and at 1 ohm, well, it doesn't really matter because we're not going to run it that low. I could get the L7, which is about 1100 watts at 2 ohms, but with the little 3-inch speakers in the front, it's not going to compete. But I don't need to. Check this out. What we're going to do is, we're going to go ahead and play a Millie. Here we go. Now everything about this car is really cool, actually. This right here, if you notice, this is the last year the Cadillac made the horizontal taillights. After that, they switched to the vertical ones with those really crappy fiberglass fillers. Or actually, they're rubber fillers. As you can tell here, I need a new rubber filler, which I have one. I just got to put it in this evening. One of the last few Cadillacs to include convertible windows. What this means is there's none of that ugly metal frame around it, which looks absolutely beautiful when it's rolled down, as I'll show you right now. So it looks beautiful, like you see right there. There's absolutely no frame. But the problem with that is, of course, you got to be real careful with windows because they'll easily chip. And the last one is, it's one of the few to have the mirrors that are not mounted on the actual chassis of the car itself. The mirrors are separately controlled. Now some of you Some of you that are not familiar with Cadillac's legacy may be wondering what the heck these things are. They're in several of the older Cadillacs, including some of the newer ones. I'm actually about to show you. There's one back there on the very tippy top. You can see like almost like a little bump coming down. What these are is, it's fiber optics. Each fiber optic is connected to the light. Individual lights. So for example, right here you can see that the headlight is on, which is kind of dim again because of the camera. And of course you can see the blinker light. If I were to turn off the blinker light, obviously it's going to work. These are not tiny little bulbs. These are fiber optic cables going to each individual light bulb. Last but not least is the engine. As you can tell, it is extremely quiet. Now it's obviously loud because I opened it up and it's idling high right now because I've been running the battery. But even idling high, it's very quiet engine. That's my hubcap that got dented. Sucks. These are the actual hubs right there. I'd love to replace them, but they're about $200 each, brand new. And that's it. That's the Cadillac. Enjoy this following clip and holla later.